Hey guys, welcome back to Reverse 1999 where's my A9? So in today's video, I wanted to talk about farming i3. Now, it's one of those controversial ones on, do you farm i3? Is it too much resources? Should you farm other stuff instead? So what I decided to do was run an experiment on this account where I've essentially farmed up 4 i3 characters. You may say, Vulcan, there's only 3, you idiot. To that I say, I farmed up Eternity, but I'm just waiting for AFK Chapadontes and also the books that we get from the UTTU, because I didn't need her. I did manage to clear everything that we needed to clear, so I figured I'm not going to rush it just for the sake of the thumbnail, so we are there. But I decided to farm up 4 characters to i3. Just to test if it was going to like cripple and ruin my account, and honestly, it doesn't. I think the most, and I'm going to go through like what I think the ideal progression phase is for this one. Now, obviously my account is stacked. I rerolled pretty hard to get this account. I rerolled for A-Knight, Sotheby, and Ann Lee, got Eternity from the Pity, and then randomly pulled a Regulus. So obviously my account is stacked. However, my new account, my Melania account, which basically only has Melania, we pulled the Regulus from the beginner banner. And that's pretty much all we got. We're using 2 3-stars in there. If I had this level of investment, because I started that account late, I feel like I'd be able to accomplish similar levels of things. But I wanted to show you guys the investment that I've done, what I traded off for getting these i3 farming done, and then talk about what I think is ideal. But at the end of the day, no matter what you've done on your account, I don't think there is an account ruining decision, because progression is progression. If it's not completely ideal progression, you will still be fine and you will get there. I still think the most important thing is choosing characters that work for you so that you're not fully investing into characters that you aren't really going to use. That is obviously the most important thing. But where you go with your investment, like when I invested into my A-Knight on this account, I farmed him for like a week. I could have had a lot more resonate done on my characters and probably progressed further in that week. But at the end of the day, worst case scenario, you might miss out on about 300 premium currency tops for missing out on some limbo clears. It's not the end of the world. But let's go through my account, the investment that I've done, so you guys can see and get an idea for it. So my A-Knight here, he's at Resonate 9, as you can see, Insight 3, obviously. Then over here, we got Sotheby, only at Resonate level 5. Once again, Insight 3. We got Beacorn, only at Resonate 6. We got the Resonate 9 over here on the Eternity. We only got Resonate 6 here on my Ann Lee, and she is only at level 32, Insight 2. We've only got Resonate level 3, Insight 2 level 20 here on the Balloon Party. And that is my entire roster of units that I actually use at the moment. So as you can see, by farming up the Insight materials, I have foregone a lot of Resonate that I could have otherwise had. The other thing that I have foregone, but don't stress, I will go ahead and farm this now. I was just running the experiment, is a lot of the shop. Now I've done a lot of farming in here. I picked up, you know, all the Chapadonte, all the dust, some of the materials that I did need for my insights as well. But, you know, I've still got a lot to go in this shop, which, you know, I could have another another 6-star Psycube, because if you look at my Psycubes at the moment, not there. Where's the warehouse? There it is, Psycubes. You see, I've still only got the 2 6-stars, which has prevented me, because I'm not going to level one of the 5-stars up that high. It's prevented me from doing these tasks. I've got some more stuff to do in these tasks. I've got to collect 1 more star in the story and stuff like that. But that's sort of the trade-off I made. I traded off getting more stuff out of the event and getting my resonates up for getting i3 characters. And as you can see, we did manage to go ahead and complete all of Limbo as well. We've got max stars in that. So at the end of the day, it didn't ruin my account or anything like that. It didn't break it. I think that mid-level progression would have been faster if I had have gone for Resonate first and then gone for the Insight upgrades. But it also depends on the character. For instance, if we look at A-Knight, his Insight level 3 is nice. We get extra penetration, but it's not necessary to make him work. Sotheby's is more necessary to make her work, because the amount of times you just you like follow up heals to get the instant heal, I use it a lot, so that was a really important one. Beacorn, not really important, because you get some damage mitigation. It's not the craziest thing, but Beacorn had all of her insight materials from the event shop, so I used them, which I could have used the apple snakes for my eternity, but I decided to do Beacorn because it was just, it was too enticing just to do the Beacorn. Now, the funny thing is, Eternity is one of those ones that does get a really nice benefit from her Insight 3, but I just didn't think I needed her to Insight 3 because the rest of my team was doing well enough anyway, and we were pretty fine. But obviously, my Resonate values are pretty low on this account. So now with that out of the way, showing you guys that farming insights, yes, it does change your progression, but I don't think it cripples an account. I wanted to go through my newest account. This account is, I think we're on the 5th day of play, 5th day of play / 6th day of logins. And I wanted to go through what I am planning to do on this account. And I'm not going to tell you what you should do because it's different for everyone. It depends what units you have. There's never going to be a cut and dry answer, but I wanted to go through my thought process on this account so you guys can see the rough sort of limit points that I want to get to on my account before I start farming for those I3s on my characters. So on this account, I got Melania. Melania is like the only thing I have. I got a P2 Melania on this account. I pulled Regulus from the beginner banner, and as you can see, we didn't really pull anything else besides a balloon party. We're using 2 3-stars and Sonetto, so we're not really stacked on this account like the other account is. You could say that a P2 Melania in 20 summons is 11 summons it was actually, but you could say that's stacked, but I rerolled my ass off for it. So what I'm going to do on this account, what my plan is to do is to get all of these 5 characters. Now Melania, once again, I got her to I3 because I rushed the event. The event gave all the specific materials for her, so it was a no-brainer. It's really nice. If Melania wasn't my main DPS, she would still be at if I had a different main DPS who didn't have the resources in the event shop, it would still be at I2 level 50. But I am happy to rush my DPS units up to level 50. The reason I've leveled these 2 units here up above my regulars, who is my other damage dealing unit, was because over here in the artificial somnambulism on Limbo stage 5, which is against the trash bags, I defeated the first wave, which is the wave that I was using Regulus in, and then I started wanting to beat the trash bag, so I started putting more investment into these guys. And there's nothing wrong with adjusting your investment depending on what you're trying to achieve and what you're trying to clear at the time. But what my next goal is to get Regulus up to level 50. I want my 2 DPS units to be able to deal decent DPS. It's just sort of a thing that I do, you want to maximize that damage. And then after that, I'm going to bring Sonetto and Balloon Party up to about level 30 around La Source and the Twins. Then I'm going to gradually level those 4 units up to about level 40-ish, between 40 and 50. We'll see how I go. It depends where I am on, a few extra stats that we want. Now, obviously, I am going to replace La Source and the Twins eventually, but it's an investment I'm happy to put in at the moment because I am going to be probably pulling on Pickles actually, so we should wait and see, but let's pretend it's any other unit you've got. But I'm going to level them up to around level 40. Then I want to get them all to resonate once again, level 7 to level 9. You can see we've got level 8 here, we've got level 7 here. The reason I took her up to level 8 is she's just a lot squishier in general through her resonate and base stats than what these guys are. These guys are just way tankier. So I decided to go ahead and get her a bit of extra resonate to try and get some extra stats, whereas these guys are perfectly fine at resonate 7. So then I do want to get my Regulus, who is my other main DPS, up to resonate 9. Now I'm going to wait and see because I'm probably going to pull for Pickles, and maybe I go ahead and Insight 3 Pickles before I do here, but we'll talk about when I'm going to do that Insight 3 next. But I still want to get Regulus to resonate 9. It allows me to get some extra stats into her, because obviously when we level it up here, we're going to get the 6x6, which allows me to put more crit into it, and because she's a crit-based character, I want to get as much crit as possible. Resonate 10 would be fantastic, but I'm just going to leave her at 9 because you're limited on how many Resonate 10s you can get. Then Sonetto, I want to get her in that 7 to 9 range. And then over here with Balloon Party, I want to get her in that 7 to 9 range. Now, I may actually hold out on Sonetto just because, once again, I am going to be pulling for Pickles. And maybe I just build up the 7 units, but I think Pickles may replace Sonetto or possibly the Twins. But honestly, I'm just loving the Twins so much. I'm probably going to replace Sonetto. Plus, I'm using Sonetto on another account, so I'm happy to experiment with other units. So once I get my main 6 units, well, my 2 DPS to level 50 I2, the event 1 to I3 just because the event gives it to you. Then all my other characters to about level 40, resonate 7 to 9 region. That is when I will start looking at my other main DPS and farming for the insight level 3. I feel like that is a happy place for me to go, and that's what I'm pretty satisfied with. The other thing I want to make sure is you want to max out your wilderness first as well before you go into this stuff. I left my wilderness for the first few days of this just because I was trying to rush content, but now I am going through the process of finishing off my wilderness. I've just got to do the story stages to get the last bit of the last upgrade thing. So that is my first point of call, just because I left that on this account. Bit of a unique situation. Normally I recommend to do this very early because it's good rewards, but that don't skip the wilderness thing. So my point of call on this account is max out the wilderness, then go in here, then level up my Regulus to 50, level up my Sonetta and Balloon Party and get their resonates up to the level 40 and then resonate to level 7 to 9. And then after that, I'm going to start farming for Regulus, but I might wait for Pickles and do Pickles first because Pickles I3 is more important than Regulus, and both of those can work together as either a main DPS or sub DPS depending on the situation. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what I'm kind of looking at, and that is my sort of rough guideline on what I follow myself. Once again, I'm not telling you have to do that. No matter what decision you make, as I showed, it doesn't destroy your account. It doesn't ruin your account. You're still going to progress. It's just swapping at which rate you optimize things. So it's not the end of the world. You can do whichever, but that is my priorities. Let me know what you guys are doing. As always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.